comprehensive warranty. Combine that with our non-commissioned sales team and the nation's best lenders on standby, and you winning, hassle-free way to get your next ride. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and get state sales tax paid when you trade. All this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort. We're a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 11 days.
See, within our football program, we tell them to embrace the hard. I was shared a few weeks ago that ESPN came out and said we had the hardest schedule in college football. Guess what? I put a smile on my face, said, hell yeah, let's go. And that's the mindset, that's the approach that our team is going to take every single time we take the field. You guys are going to see a different program than you've seen in the past. In fact, one of the first hires I made was a guy named Bray Cook. Bray actually played at the University of Arkansas, was a captain, and Bray was actually a grad assistant for me at the University of Memphis, came back home, was a high school coach here, and does podcasts and has great connections throughout the state. And I hired Bray. I said, your number one job is to make sure the alumni know they feel welcome. He said, what? I said, yes, I want to make sure not only are you reaching out to the high school coaches, but the alumni of our football program feel welcome back. I want you to invite them all, even if they played one snap, or if you have guys like Peyton Hillis that show up and watch practice, Felix Jones, all the former guys that want to be a part of this thing for so long that they feel welcome. And on Friday nights, one of the things we're doing is we're inviting some of the alumni back and saying, hey, walk with us. Obviously, we have to do a better job of playing at home. Walk with our team on Friday nights before the home games, and then maybe let one or two of them share a story, what it means to be a Razorback, because we understand who we represent every single day.
Live from the Bud Light Studios, produced by Christian Johnston,
With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is The Morning Rush.
And we welcome you into a Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. Heard Ryan Silverfield at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Got into a few things, Bray Cook and what he's done for Arkansas since being back on campus as a former player. Some of the discussions around eligibility. Lane Kiffin's comments, heard Kalen DeBoer discussing that. Also heard from Ryan Silverfield on that yesterday, some player acquisition stuff. And a really cool maybe tradition that they established this upcoming season. Former players always around campus and coming back from time to time, but they've got something in mind Friday night before games, which I thought was a good idea. So we'll get into that, and including a slew of other things this morning. Good morning. How are we this morning?
Good morning. Doing okay. It's Tuesday. Right? But last night, I went to Dylan's football game. And you talk about a nice night to sit outside, particularly for August, after there'd been a little front move through. And, man, it was just a really pleasant night to sit outdoors.
Well, it's funny. Ryan Silverfield made that comment yesterday. It's like the best weather that we've had since fall camp. We're not practicing.
Yeah.
They had off yesterday. They kind of funny how they didn't intentionally time it out that way. Now, he did comment he wanted to make it as difficult, the terrain and just dealing with the weather and the conditions as much as possible. He calculated that the hottest time of the day in Fayetteville was at like 4:06, and they started practice at 3, right in the middle of practice. So the timing there. But it sounds like you weren't the only one. I had some other friends that I talked to that took in some various football last night. It wasn't not relative to what it's been, not that bad.
Not at all. Hey, we're brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. 479-587-3300 is their number. Top quality aggregates like rock, sand, gravel, ready-mix concrete, and complete construction consultant services. So whether you're doing an asphalt driveway or miles of concrete or asphalt highway, they can help you with all those jobs and everything in between. 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
Give you a sense of what we're discussing today. When Will Wade was rehired at LSU, and then you had Lane Kiffin there as well, we wondered, would this be the most despised and most hated combination in all of college football? Bruce Dan Pradko Fishing's here as well. Guys, in the last few days, it sure seems like our speculation is going to be found correct and true. Between the R.J. Lewis stuff with with Will Wade, the Daquan Wright, and the other kid, I think it's Xavier Harris, the kid that bashed Lane Kiffin when he left for LSU, and then is now going to be apparently suiting up for him this fall. The combination of these guys in Baton Rouge has caused quite a stir that we can discuss here coming up. Good morning, Bruce.
Morning. I'm gonna throw Kim Mulkey in there too. She
You
just
can toss her in there.
She just recruited a Russian when she had a 6'5" center from the Ukraine on her team. And she said,
that'll cause some problems.
know that what I have to do in this business, I cannot make a decision to not recruit somebody that can help our program because of a conflict between two countries. My company can't we used to do 7 figures in Russia selling fishing lures.
Yeah.
We are not allowed to sell to them, but she can go over and get a basketball player from Moscow to come over and play at LSU, and that's what's happening at LSU right now.
Evidently so.
How many sports can they be good at once? Because they want to be good in football, obviously. They've spent $50 million or whatever, plus the coaching. Women's basketball, their national championship.
Yeah.
Baseball, obviously. And they've hired Will Wade. I mean, I don't know that a school can support, even a school like LSU can support 4 programs at a championship level.
Maybe they got Kremlin money.
I don't know.
You know?
What are they,
Yeah.
Ruples over there?
Rubles.
They're getting money from somewhere.
Yeah.
We didn't get to the Guinness World Records oldest woman yesterday and what keeps you young. We'll discuss that. A certain member within the San Francisco 49ers organization was caught at the Wheat Hill Mobile Community Home in
It's called a
Mobile home.
It's called a trailer
mobile
park.
home, yeah,
Mobile home.
in Palestine, Ohio, which was
I guess it
which
was
is
a
funny.
community home.
Yeah.
Some type of community.
Tom Murphy's going to join us at 10 o'clock this morning, and then we can talk about some of the quarterback battles that are no longer battles that have been made, that have been announced. Had some this weekend with Keelan Russell at Alabama, KJ Jackson, of course, and then Bruce, you just had one yesterday with Faison. Is it Faison? Is that how you say it?
Faison,
Faison
yeah.
Brandon, and then also in Florida as well. Tommy, what did you take away from Silverfield yesterday?
Latching on to the fans. I hated the fact that they announced just ahead of him that Bill Clinton and Jerry Jones were going to be speaking. I don't know that it stole his thunder, but that kind of put a little bit of a damper on him being the headline. I wish they may have waited. And I think that's probably news that's hard to keep quiet, and they wanted to be able to tell that crowd at the first one, but I thought that took a little bit off the edge of his appearance yesterday.
You know what stood out to me, and he mentioned that this is like the 9th time he's been to Little Rock in 10 months.
Mhm.
And I know that people are still mad down there about Hunter Yurachek not coming. The first city athletics director that has declined an invitation to go to the Little Rock Touchdown Club. And I don't know if he said that to just like show that, hey, I'm continuously going to be here regardless of what you say about it. That's one of the things I noticed specifically yesterday. Not just being in attendance, but he's like, I've been here 9 times the last 10 months. I know the importance of Central Arkansas, because what we always talk about, and Bruce, I don't know if they deal with this in Tennessee with like Memphis, Nashville, and Knoxville. You got West Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, and East Tennessee. And I don't know if there's always the battle of who's more important, who helps that program and stuff more. But there has been rifts. There have been like battles, and there shouldn't be, between Northwest Arkansas and Central Arkansas. I think in that statement, he is showing that, hey, obviously I reside in Northwest Arkansas, and that's where the program is and everything else. But it's still very important to have a presence in Central Arkansas as
100%.
the football coach.
I think it's probably more similar to Alabama than Tennessee. I mean, there's like 9 Division I colleges in Tennessee when you bring in the FCS teams. But, Arkansas, kind of like Alabama, always played a game in the big city. Birmingham, they played at Legion Field.
Yes.
And Arkansas, obviously, they've played at War Memorial forever. So there's always that big city, small town, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Little Rock, Fayetteville, that power struggle where the money is, and we're important, and we run this thing. And I think there's probably more similarities, probably except for the championships, between Alabama and Arkansas.
And I don't know about in Tennessee, but in Arkansas, there's the undercurrent to all of that is the rivalry between Central Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas, which is the emerging market. And Little Rock's the old money. Northwest Arkansas is kind of the new money.
Yeah.
And, one's poised to maybe overtake the other as the population center of the state.
more or less has as the economic engine of the state. And I think, it's not just the games and losing those and where the flagship's at. It's the fact that, all rivalries start at home. Your rivalry start with your neighbors across the street, then it's the high school across town, and then it's, then it's this, there's always division and divide because there's always rivalry. Now, I think that's the one part of this that, we don't talk enough about is Little Rock just doesn't like the idea to lose into those, in their minds, those snooty people up north of the tunnel. And that's a lot of what's, I think, in the undertow here that no one talks about.
Yeah. Hopefully this will be something that doesn't continuously pop up, even though I tend to think it's reality it's going to.
And I think the administration at Arkansas, both academic and athletic, have done a good job of trying to bring the state together on this. They've messaged this. They've had bus tours. They've sent the coach down there 9 times. They understand the importance of Little Rock. They certainly hadn't looked at it and say, you don't matter. That is anything but the truth there. So they're reaching out there trying to do their part.
With the exception of Hunter not going.
Well, but that we're making that's not the thing that's going to change the equation at all.
All right, we can continue to talk about some of the stuff that happened at the Touchdown Club yesterday, some stuff that you've already heard, and maybe some other various things that Ryan Silverfield talked about. But we mentioned the LSU stuff kind of from the jump, and if you haven't been following, which understandably so, you maybe are not familiar, we'll kind of summarize what's going on. But Lane Kiffin gets asked about adding NFL players back to his roster yesterday, and here is what he had to say in regards to that and some other SEC head coaches too.
At the end of the day, because of these rulings, they're either going to play for you or they're going to play somewhere else around the country. So we've made a decision to recruit them, like probably most people are.
This is the opening drive.
So that logic to me makes sense. And what did you say before the show, Tommy? A lot of coaches and maybe ADs are going to be eating crow when this thing's all said and done, depending on what shakes out.
I mean, Greg Sankey's been clear as the commissioner of the league that you go play pro. If you sign a pro contract, you enter a pro situation like the NFL, there shouldn't be a place for you back in college football. John Calipari, I know different sport, been very clear that, if we're going to go get all these 24 and 25-year-olds, where's the place for the 18-year-old coming out of high school? But Lane Kiffin's right too. If I don't recruit him, my competitor will. And I don't want to get beat with a kid that I could have had, but I just chose to stand on principle and didn't go, recruit a kid that could help us be a better football team. I see both sides of it, and I'm hoping that, all these disenfranchised groups, that this is the last of it, that, this will truly be a one-and-done situation where you could leave an NFL camp and come back to a college team.
You mentioned the statement. This was put out by the Southeastern Conference yesterday after a Monday evening video conference of the presidents and chancellors. The Southeastern Conference has released the statement. Basically, college athletes, not former ones, have been at the heart of the Southeastern Conference. Blah blah blah. They shouldn't be allowed to come back to college competition if they've signed professional playing contracts, like Daquan Wright, the Davis kid, potentially other players that are mulling over the idea of coming back to school, not just in the Southeastern Conference, but elsewhere as well. Now, that's the football side. Then you've got, like, the two-way contracts like R.J. Lewis signed. Maybe that rings a bell. You played him 2 years ago in Providence, Rhode Island when he was on St. John's. And now he's going to be, it looks like, thanks to a temporary restraining order, an LSU Tiger this upcoming season, which will play in both Bud Walton Arena and also in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So this is affecting not just football, basketball, and again, at the center of the hot topic the last 2 days has been Lane Kiffin and Will Wade. You guys mentioned Kim Mulkey. Yeah. I didn't even know that about Kim Mulkey, Bruce, when you brought it up. But that is there's a lot of people that are really, really ticked off at LSU right now, and I don't blame them one bit.
So honestly, when does eligibility begin and when does it end? And these players, if they come back from an NFL team to go back to school like LSU or any other, do they re-enter the draft next year, or are their rights still claimed? I mean, do they have to be? What happens there?
I guess it's
Has
what
a player
judge
ever
you
been
have,
drafted twice?
It's what judge you have in your back pocket that went to your school that can make a temporary restraining order. That's just bull crap. People are getting tired of that stuff.
We have got to. I mean, eligibility is defined, and it is what I mean. We shouldn't have activist judges jumping in and changing the rules of the game essentially, and redefining who's eligible and who's not.
Well, there wasn't a precedent.
This has never, but there's never been a precedent that once you enter a pro contract, other than Olympic sports, you're done.
I thought they took care of this in basketball. The sucker went and played for Alabama for like 3 games because he got a restraining order, and then they took it away from him and he couldn't play anymore. So somehow that hadn't translated into football because they're doing the same thing.
Different judge, different district.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it just isn't right. All right, that's the opening drive this morning. We got thoughts on that. You probably do too. You can share them with us a little bit later on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Opening drive brought to you by the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800. You know, if you're maybe catching an early flight out of X&A, or you're coming up for a football game, or you just got a weekend away, or you got business travel that takes you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill is our favorite place to stay. And the reason for that is the convenient location. Whether I have a meeting in Bentonville or Rogers to start, or in the day, or I need to be on campus for a game, I'm just minutes from wherever I need to be when I stay at the Inn at the Mill. 479-443-1800. Large, oversized, spacious suites. Great breakfast to start the day. Free, fast, high-speed internet as well. 479-443-1800 or online inatthemill.com.
Got 2 more Pradco Pyramid of Powers before we actually get into game action starting next week. And next week we'll do teams. This week we're doing coaches within the Southeastern Conference. Let's get into another edition of the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Who are the best coaches in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to make you happy or mad to start here, but I'm starting on Rocky Top with my 6th coach in the SEC, and Josh Heupel. Would you say he inherited a mess at Tennessee?
Yes.
By Tennessee standards?
Yes.
Took him to an Orange Bowl, got a win there back in 22, an 11-win year. Tennessee has become a program where double-digit wins and being at least in the playoff talk are now realistic expectations. That was not the case 4 or 5 years ago. So I think this guy's a competent coach. He's not the best coach in the league, but I think he is in the top 6, well within the top half. Josh Heupel, number 6 on my Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Now that's where I have him. He's the only coach on our list that has multiple wins against Alabama. He can't beat Georgia, but he's proven he can beat Alabama whether Saban's there or not.
I got Mike Elko at Texas A&M at number 5. He took A&M to an 11-2 year last season and to the playoff. Includes a 7-1 SEC record. He's done a great job of building programs. I looked at this based on career and recent and try to weigh recent a little more heavy. But Elko, you can't ignore what he did at Duke before coming to College Station. I got Mike Elko, Texas A&M at number 5.
I got him there. I mean, they won 11 straight games in College Station last year. That's impressive. They did go out with a whimper, losing to Texas and then 10-3 to Miami. Defense played great. They got to find a way to score some points.
All right, moving into the top 4, and this is where, you know, the heavy lifting begins. And then where do you balance recent versus career accomplishments versus what they did at previous schools that weren't in the SEC? That's why I land Kalen DeBoer at number 4. I don't know how much you weigh 3 NAIA national championships, but he did that. He went to the 23 national championship game, but he has not lived up to Alabama's standard. He's not outside the top 4, but I can't put him in the top 3. I got Kalen DeBoer, number 4 in the SEC.
I got him hanging on to number 4. Last time we saw Kalen DeBoer, they got ran off the field 38-3 in the Rose Bowl by Indiana. Bad look. They got to find a way to change that if he's going to go up this list.
So 6, 5, and 4, we all agree. Heupel, Elko, DeBoer at 4. At number 3, I got Lane Kiffin. I flip-flopped these. It went back and forth with DeBoer and Kiffin, but I give Kiffin the edge. And he took, I think, is a more difficult situation at Ole Miss. They don't have the resources Alabama did, but you look at what he did at Ole Miss. He won 55 games, only lost 19 in his time there. The way he leaves, obviously, he always leaves a mess behind him. No SEC or national championships as a head coach, but I think this guy obviously is considered amongst many to be maybe a top 2 coach in this league, I got Lane Kiffin at number 3.
I got him at 3. He's the most hated coach in the league. He made Ole Miss relevant, which not a lot of people done that since Johnny Vaught. So Lane Kiffin, number 3.
Starting to figure out a trend here a little bit. No national championships, very few SEC titles.
Yeah.
You wonder why the Big Ten has won 3 national championships in a row. You kind of look through these coaches' resumes and
Maybe they got better
figure
coaching.
it out. Steve Sarkisian, number 2. I think it's tight between the 2, 3, and 4 spot, but doesn't have the national championship, consecutive college football playoff appearances in 23 and 24, semifinal appearance there. I got Steve Sarkisian, down horns. I'll put him down, but Texas head coach number 2.
Man, I got him there. I mean, he's recruiting great. Hadn't won big yet. I don't know any other. I mean, he would not be number 2 in the Big Ten, but he's number 2 in the SEC.
And so I think this may be the first time we've ever agreed on anything 1 through 6.
I was thinking the same thing.
Kirby Smart at Georgia. He's the only coach with championships, consistency. I know that the Big Ten's won the last 3, but he owns 2 national championships, multiple SEC titles. I mean, this was the easiest part of this list was Kirby Smart at number 1.
Yeah, you just put him at number 1 and start below him.
Right.
2 natties, no doubt, and he's the best. And, he's got some work to do. It's been a minute since he won, but he's number 1.
But the only coach with a championship on this list.
The only one.
And Ty, there, you want to know why the Big Ten's had the edge lately? There you go.
Yeah. The only thing I would switch on y'all's list, I would probably move DeBoer ahead of Kiffin. DeBoer's done it at different. I know Ole Miss had a tremendous season last year and was able to get to the playoff under Kiffin's leadership, but I think DeBoer's done it in multiple other spots. And while he hasn't met Alabama expectations, he still did get a playoff win on the road in Norman. So that would be the only one I would flip flop on this list.
Okay, so Pradco Pyramid of Power, a 1 through 6 agreement for the first time.
First time ever.
Kirby Smart at 1,
Man.
Steve Sarkisian at 2, LSU's Lane Kiffin at 3, Kalen DeBoer at 4, Mike Elko at A&M at 5, and Rocky Top Josh Heupel at 6. Pradco Pyramid of Power brought to you by the Pradco Store inside Bass Pro Shops Outpost in Fort Smith.
How many years have we been doing this?
3 or 4 now at least, maybe longer. We've been doing the segment longer, but
Pyramid, yeah,
probably
like,
3.
That's the
4?
first time we've ever agreed.
I don't think we've ever agreed 1 through 6.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Get by and you can get Kirby Smart's name on a lure today.
You can, and wade fishing's real good right now. We took Eric Sandstrom, our buyer from Amazon.com in Seattle. He came to Fort Smith last week, spent a day with Umarex, and spent a day with us. We took him to Lee Creek, caught a bunch on yum dingers and Rebel crickhopper poppers.
All right, so check it out. It's the it's in the Bass Pro Shop Outpost, one of a kind, one store only. You'll find it in Fort Smith, and check it out today. All right, more of the Morning Rush coming up. Ty, we got the hog update next.
Yep, going to hear more from Ryan Silverfield. Got our Morning Rush daily question to get to as well. And you can call or text us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. We come back after this.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
This is Matt.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
We've got big news from Roback. This entire week, Roback is launching its brand new collegiate collection, just in time for the fall season. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you're in luck. The Arkansas collection officially dropped, and there's plenty of inventory available. So whether you're headed to the stadium, watching from home, or just looking to upgrade your game day gear, now's the time to check out Roback's new Arkansas Collegiate Collection. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
I got one question for you. What are those?
It's cute. I wish I could get it, but...
And how much you pay for that taco?
Hey, yo, you know what it is, boy. He's got his free taco.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Want to kick off the football season with a bet that feels like a lock? The MyBookie lock of the season is back. With the Patriots in Seattle for the NFL kickoff, the question is simple. Will the Seahawks raise their championship banner that night? Of course they will. They're the defending champs. It's their home opener, and you're getting plus money odds just to say yes. Get in before kickoff, sign up at MyBookie, use promo code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and start your season with a win. MyBookie. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere.
Got a little jingle.
Driving school in Arkansas, COP CDL Academy in Van Buren offers hands-on training with experienced instructors who prepare you not only for the test, but the road ahead. With multiple funding options available, getting started may be easier than you think. Your new career starts here. Call 479-632-1050 today, where real training creates real job opportunities.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about. A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Darren McFadden goes 73 yards. And Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
On Friday night, one of the things we're doing is we're inviting some of the alumni back and saying, hey, walk with us. Obviously, we have to do a better job of playing at home. Walk with our team on Friday nights before the home games, and then maybe let one or two of them share a story, what it means to be a Razorback, because we understand who we represent every single day.
That's Ryan Silverfield yesterday at the Little Rock Touchdown Club discussing what could be a new tradition. It's not like he hadn't seen this before. He hadn't seen former players come back and speak to the team, but that would be kind of a cool thing to do every single game week, which you got 7 games this fall inside a Razorback Stadium, 5 of which are SEC opponents, and it's a new season under a new coach.
Yeah, when he says walk with us, and on Friday nights, did he mean the hog walk on Saturdays when they enter the stadium? I was a little lost on the context there, but I mean, I understand they probably do a Friday night meeting after dinner, maybe talk then, but when he said come walk with us,
probably the walk through, and then that's a guess. I don't know. That's what I probably mean. I think it'd be educated guess.
I think it'd be cool to have a couple former Hogs do the hog walk and lead them into the stadium, through the fans. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Which is, as we brought up, like we put out the Whoop. We were talking about the Whoop Pick Perks last week, and that was the lone one. You're like, I don't know if we should be doing that. You paid $500, and you're like, you almost want to earn that. Yep. Well, they earn that.
Yeah, these are former players. I have no problem with a letterman. That's lettered in this program. Meant something. You're selective. Yeah. You're going to pick people that are names and guys that have, more importantly, have a message to deliver to the team that's going to resonate.
Yeah, I remember. So prior to this would have been my sophomore year. Basil met with them before the LSU game back in 2014. Funny enough, I mean, he was in the Southwest Conference, didn't even play LSU, but he talked about go run and go get that dang boot, which they did that night after a 17-0 win. And it's like, with so much transaction within college sports nowadays, when you have these guys that played for the name on the front of their jersey, and not that they didn't care about individual accolades, some of them did, which I would too. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's the importance of, this is why this university and this program matters. I think when you reiterate that with former players, it's one thing for a coach to talk about that. Sometimes that just gets tuned out, though. Like in recruiting, when a coach keeps telling you tune it out, but when you listen to actually a player that played for him, it makes more sense. You connect to that more. I think the same thing is said about former players that have played here.
Yep, they can relate. They've been in those shoes. Coaches trying to hold you accountable. Former players, you tend to feel more have your side on it and understand where you're coming from.
And you could make a case and argue that they had it. In fact, it's not even making a case. It's just reality. They had it tougher than the kids today in 2026.
They didn't get paid.
No, not close.
Yeah. All right, that's the Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by Arts Barbecue, Burgers, and more. They're putting a twist on a fast food classic. They are taking a third rack of their baby back ribs. They take the bones out. They put it on one of their handcrafted buns, tangy pickles, some sweet onions, some raw onions on there, and their barbecue sauce. And let me tell you, it's as good a sandwich as you're ever going to have. They call it the Smokehouse Slab, but it is truly a rib sandwich with baby back rib meat that is incredible. It's one of the best sandwiches I've ever had. Pair it with a side of your own, of your choice. I go half and half. That half and half means half fries, half onion rings. So that's the half and half I go with. Their beans are great. Their potato salad's sneaky good. Their green beans are unbelievable. But you can get any of the sides. Mac and cheese is really good. Okra. You can get any of the sides you want to go with that. It's just $13.99. All right? Real rib sandwich. Real rib meat. They just take the bones out of the baby back ribs. It is incredible. Try it at Arts Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's, or call ahead and they'll have one ready, 452-2550. That's all at Arts Barbecue in Fort Smith.
I got our Morning Rush daily question to get to when we come back. You had a food one or sports one today?
Sports one.
Okay, all right.
Kind of a follow-up on our coaches conversation a minute ago.
Okay. We've talked about getting closer and closer, 11 days out from football season. We're also closing down August. I know a lot of your kids have started back school, grandkids and whatever else. Well, you look for deals. So you're trying to save money. They had the tax-free day earlier this month. Well, what about your state sales tax being paid for? Our buddy David Rath with Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi. David, you guys sometimes do this with just your road-ready certifieds, but you've got an additional offer this month for people as well.
Yeah, we're doing it on our new cars too. So we've got some great stuff going on. It's tons of new inventory coming in, man. We can't hardly park. it's kind of a problem. But we've got a lot of fresh inventory coming in on the new car side and the used car side. If people have been kind of hunting for a good deal, or maybe they've been looking for something particular that they haven't been able to find, we got a lot of fresh stuff coming in, and they need to give us a shot and check out both our lots there. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. And yeah, bring that old ride in. I need those trade-ins. That's the best stuff in the world for us. Kind of keeps the business flowing, and we're going to do your state sales tax for you if you trade that vehicle in. So let us have a shot at that. We'll do your ride on that. Non-commissioned sales team, real cool, laid-back kind of a vibe at both stores. We'll get you taken care of and save you a lot of money in the process.
Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Don't make Larry have to go to the auction. He does not like doing that. So if you have your trade-ins, they'll definitely trade that in. Again, warranties and a full 100-point inspection on these road-ready certified vehicles. I know it almost feels like a new vehicle for some that have stepped in. Plus the Mikey Car Care Center at both locations. All right, man. We're about a less than a week out from the end of August. I know you got some work to do.
We do. Appreciate you guys.
All right, we're going to hear more from Ryan Silverfield as the show goes on as well. Plus, Ole Miss, some people on the FBI getting involved with their facility. What's that about? We'll tell you what it was coming up in just a bit. The Morning Rush rolls on a Tuesday after this.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is former Arkansas quarterback Casey Dick, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
It's peak grilling season, and nothing hits the flame quite like beef. From hearty steaks to crowd-pleasing burgers, the rich flavor and perfect sizzle make every cookout worth gathering for. So fire up the grill, bring on the heat, and serve the taste that defines summer. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. Courtesy of Beef, it's what'sfordinner.com.
David, if you see this, we're not taking the rat poison, Coach. We're not taking the rat poison.
This is The Morning Rush.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and make the switch to any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles and get state sales tax paid when you trade. Our road-ready certified vehicles are inspected.
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason, to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard, and I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for Circuit Judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you in everyday matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton Campaign.
wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Have you visited the new and improved Eastside Liquor? We're right next door to the old location on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Our new store has more space and more room to shop, plus the best drive-thru around. Whether you're planning a celebration, stocking up for the weekend, or simply picking up a favorite, Eastside Liquor has you covered. Liquor, beer, wine, and mixers, with plenty of great selections waiting for you. Plus premium hand-rolled cigars. Stop by the new Eastside Liquor today at 9410 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
Okay, we listed our coaches' selections in the Pradco Pyramid of Power 1 through 6, and there was no argument, and there is no argument, that Kirby Smart is number 1 in this league. But if you could hire any current SEC coach other than Kirby Smart to run your program for the next 5 years, who are you taking? That's the Morning Rush Daily Question, brought to you by Cart Path Social.
It's a good question.
Thank you.
Clark Lee.
You know, Clark Lee was just outside the top 6. A guy that certainly, and if you want to talk about if you're talking about Arkansas's program, he might actually be a realistic hire. He might be someone you could actually go get.
I'm looking up and down this list, kind of going through names on our
Well, let's just say they're all available. Would you take DeBoer? Would you take Sarkisian? If you took one over the other, why? Is Lane Kiffin too much drama for you? He always leaves it kind of worse than he found it in a lot of ways. Mike Elko's a program builder at A&M.
Who would you say?
Elko would. I don't think I'd want Lane, even though he brings the circus to town with him. You know, no one cleans up after the animals when he's gone. You know, it's always a mess. I kind of like Mike Elko. Tough-minded, defense
Big
first
C
football
said Clark
program.
Lee.
Clark Lee's not a bad program builders. At Arkansas, you need a program builder, not just a flash, not just someone. Not that DeBoer hadn't figured it out. You know, he's got the steepest mountain anyone could climb, trying to come in after Saban. His career record speaks for itself. But I don't know, something about Mike Elko I kind of like.
I think from a management standpoint, it's hard to argue what Brent Venables and Jim Nagy at Oklahoma have built from a front office standpoint. I don't know how good of a head coach he is. That defense is ferocious.
He just lacks head coaching experience.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Venables that kept him out of my top 6. He just doesn't have – he's got a ton of DC experience, obviously. He's been around the game forever. He just hadn't sat in that big chair very long.
I think Summerall might be mine. I think that Florida got a really good – because I'm trying to, project down the road. I mean, he had success at two group of 5 programs, and I think that's going to ultimately be the longest that's what Arkansas fans at some point wanted. I think Summerall is ultimately going to have longer sustained success. And I said this when the hires happened than Lane Kiffin in Baton Rouge. That didn't necessarily mean one's going to get to a championship quicker. I just think there's going to be longer sustained success there.
John in Bentonville on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline says he'd take Eli Drinkowitz because he whips our butt every time. You could do worse than Eli Drinkowitz.
Shane says Clark Lee. JT agrees with you, Tommy, on Mike Elko. Jody and Harrison thinks Josh Heupel. So we got to collect. We just listed off 3 different coaches, and not a single texter texted in the same response either than another texter.
And so no one said Ryan Silverfield either.
Oh, I didn't even.
No, I mean, you're being honest. You haven't seen anything yet, and this could be ultimately a really good fit for Arkansas. We don't know, but I think unless you're Homer Simpson, you're not saying Ryan Silverfield.
Yeah.
Right?
This question wasn't a knock at Ryan Silverfield.
No.
But I think the thing that here's the perspective I gained out of doing this list yesterday and preparing for today's show. You want to know why the SEC has fallen on, by our own standards in this league, hard times? You've only got one coach in this league that's won a national championship at the FBS level, and that's Kirby Smart. Mm-hmm. The roster of the coaches, while I think you've got some future Hall of Famers in here, you only got one current Hall of Famer here, and he's not in there, I know, but Kirby's the only one. That's part of why the gap has narrowed and the SEC has fallen victim to the Big 12, the Big 10 the last 3 years.
We did get a text out of the 940. Where's the 940 area code? Any idea? That did say Ryan Silverfield. North Central Texas.
All right.
Like Denton and Wichita
I think that's the new one down there.
Is it?
Yeah.
He or she says Ryan Silverfield. So we did get one Ryan Silverfield response. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Number 1 place for indoor golf in all of Arkansas is my buddy Christian Olson, Nate Garehan's place at Cart Pass Social. One of over 1,000 different courses you can play. Pick it out. Pick which one you want to play. Unlimited golf going on through next month, starting at just $200. Still really hot outside. If you want to play indoors, you can do so in 68-degree temps. They've got summer leagues going on right now. They've always got room for you when it comes to corporate events, birthday parties, and so much more. TVs everywhere. College football's back as of this weekend. You can watch all your favorite games at Cart Pass Social. Plus, best part, it's BYOB. Bring your food, bring your drink. Don't spend $50-something at another place when you can bring in your own stuff at Cart Pass Social. CartPassSocial.com, 122 Grant Place in Lowell.
So, of all the Saban disciples, why has Kirby had the most success? Why hadn't Lane closed in and figured it out a little bit more? Is it stability, not staying in one place at the time? Or is it the fact that just the Georgia program was a bird nest on the ground?
Well, the complaint for years with Mark Richt was it was always like a 10-win. They were around 10 wins each and every year. But they didn't take that next step that a lot of them did. Keep in mind, prior to Smart getting there, how many national championships had that program won?
The last one was, 80 or 81?
80. Herschel Walker won. Mr. Coach Dooley.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So this was always a program that you felt like being in close proximity as Atlanta and as good as Georgia football is in high school.
They were the best Tier B program out there.
He's also, people forget, this guy waited. He's an alumnus of the university.
Yeah.
Like that, he waited on this job. He fielded he got other offers when he was the defensive coordinator at Alabama, but he waited. He bided his time for that job. It's perfect, not just because he learned at the feet of the best coach in the history of the sport, but it also, again, he has that extra passion and fire for the Georgia Bulldogs. And frankly, there's just not a lot of those that are lying around when it comes to our program here in Fayetteville that have learned at an elite coach and are connected in some way, shape, or form to Arkansas. But to your question about why haven't other coaches figured it out yet, one, NIL, the transfer portal has changed the dynamics. We saw Nick Saban teetering at the end of his career relative to what he'd been. People forget, like, he didn't go out on top. They still made the playoff, but they lost to Michigan in his final year. Like, he was not the same coach in his final couple of years as he was before. And so maybe he got out on the good time for, again, I don't want to diminish his legacy, but just where he was overall.
No. I mean, he's the standard. We're trying to figure out why others had to cheat. Kirby is not Nick Saban. Let's not confuse. Kirby has matched him by any way. But of all the Saban assistants that have come through, he's clearly more than a length ahead of the rest.
Yeah, I mean, let's go up and down the list. So DeBoer's never been under Saban. I don't think Golish has. Summerall was at one point. Smart was obviously at one point. I don't know if Kiffin was at one point. Golding was at one point. I mean, it's half the league. Is it really half the league? I think Beamer was at one point. I don't think Heupel was. Sark was at one point. I don't think Elko was. And I don't think – so nearly half the league has coached under Nick Saban at one point in time. And that doesn't even include Dan Lanning, Kurt Signetti, and the other top-tier coaches within the sport.
And it also just clues you back into – I know the era has changed because of portal and NIL. But it also tells you how hard it was what Nick Saban accomplished.
Yes, 100%.
We just act like, he won 7 national titles in his career. No big deal. 6 at Alabama in the toughest league in America. No big deal. Mm-hmm. At a time where Auburn still it wasn't like anybody else couldn't win one. Auburn won one. LSU won one. I mean, they were Florida had a kind of a matching run in a short amount of time under Urban Meyer. Georgia. I mean, you start counting up the programs in his era, the other SEC programs that won titles, and it wasn't like there was no competition for him in this league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm counting the list. 4 SEC programs in his tenure won titles in addition to all the ones he won. So 5 total when you include all of his. That's pretty crazy.
And you had a period where Ole Miss and Mississippi State were 1 and 2.
That's correct.
Ranked 1 and 2. So they had an elite moment in all of that.
I think it was 2014, if I remember that right. All right, let's talk to Ken, who's in Des Arc this morning here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, gentlemen. I appreciate you taking my call. I've got a question about the 16 guys that's in the NFL. They're in mini camps right now, and they're going to get to come back. Lane looks like he's going to get a quarter of those, if not more, to come back to LSU. So those guys can come back to the college for their 5th year, but Tennessee has a stud linebacker, Arian Carter, that gets suspended 2 games for taking a $427 plane ticket back to his home or back to Knoxville, whatever, after the combine and repays them. Is there any way Tennessee could take legal action against the NCAA of this going down?
I don't know about the legal action, but I did see this yesterday with multiple people being like, pointing out that same thing you did. It's like, how are you going to suspend this kid 2 games and then a similar type? Not I say similar. These situations popping up. 2
separate things entirely, but the punishment doesn't seem equitable.
No.
And I don't know that the kids in these 16 kids are being punished. They've really put the schools in a tough spot. Schools weren't thinking about these kids. The courts and these challenges within the courts have put the schools in a tough spot. Because like Lane Kiffin or not, Ken, what he said earlier, and we played the audio, is correct. If I don't recruit them, somebody else is going to. And if they can help my football team be better, I have an obligation. I don't like a lot of things Lane Kiffin does, but he's 100% right on that.
True.
But the other situation, I think the punishment's silly, considering the landscape of today's game. But they're really, it's apples to bumper cars.
Mm-hmm. Ken, appreciate the call. It is kind of funny. You mentioned some of those kids that might be coming back. This Xavier Harris kid, here's what he said about Lane Kiffin last year, saying his departure felt like a slap in the face. He tried to be a troll. We're going to troll him. We've got something for him, blah, blah, blah. This is via Chris Lowe. Now the kid is committed to LSU. Pretty wild.
Never ends. I mean, the twists and turns of college sports. It just never ends. Tom Murphy coming up in a few minutes here on the show. We'll check in with Tom now that we have a QB1 on campus, get his thoughts on that. You can listen to the interview if you're heading into work or you're not where you're going to be near the radio. No problem. Take the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell with you. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy for lunch today, get by Taco Bell and listen anywhere you go with the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. They are just days away, guys. We're going to have a Taco Bell within walking distance of the studio here. That might be really good or really bad. I'm not sure.
No, that'll always be good.
Big C can get over there during the commercial break. We can order on their app and have it, during the break.
We can time it out. Hour two coming up like Tommy said. Tom Murphy's going to join us. We'll get into a few other things next.
It's peak grilling season, and nothing hits the flame quite like beef. From hearty steaks to crowd-pleasing burgers, the rich flavor and perfect sizzle make every cookout worth gathering for. So fire up the grill, bring on the heat, and serve the taste that defines summer. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. Courtesy of Beef, it's what'sfordinner.com.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly. Easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Good morning. This is your Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match alarm. We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready, or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any 2 for just $5 for a limited time, only at Hardee's. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and make the switch to any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles and get state sales tax paid when you trade. Our road-ready certified vehicles are inspected, reconditioned, and backed by comprehensive warranty. Combine that with our non-commissioned sales team and the nation's best lenders on standby, and you've got an award-winning, hassle-free way to get your next ride. Make the switch to road-ready certified and get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
Is it time for you to finally get the barn, hunting lodge, barn dominium, or garage you always wanted? Sutherland's is here to help. Hi, this is Jeremy, sales manager at Sutherland's. When you choose to work with us, you can expect top quality, expertise, and peace of mind, knowing that Sutherland's will do whatever it takes to get the building you've always wanted. For a free quote, call 1-800-66-BARNS. Free estimates at Sutherland's.com. For over 100 years, Sutherland's has been helping folks build it better. No matter the project, we're here to help. Because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures will be into the low 90s. A chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm across the south with temperatures near 95. Partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight. We drop down into the lower 70s. Periods of sunshine with a chance of isolated showers and storms Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 11 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light.
Can't drink all day unless you start early.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with an ice-cold Bud Light.
See, within our football program, we tell them to embrace the hard. I was shared a few weeks ago that ESPN came out and said we had the hardest schedule in college football. Guess what? I put a smile on my face, said, hell yeah, let's go. And that's the mindset, that's the approach that our team is going to take every single time we take the field. You guys are going to see a different program than you've seen in the past. In fact, one of the first hires I made was a guy named Bray Cook. Bray actually played at the University of Arkansas, was a captain, and Bray was actually a grad assistant for me at the University of Memphis, came back home, was a high school coach here and does podcasts and has great connections throughout the state. And I hired Bray. I said, your number one job is to make sure the alumni know they feel welcome. He said, what? I said, yes, I want to make sure not only are you reaching out to the high school coaches, but the alumni of our football program feel welcome back. I want you to invite them all, even if they played one snap, or if you have guys like Peyton Hillis that show up and watch practice, Felix Jones, all the former guys that want to be a part of this thing for so long that they feel welcome. And on Friday nights, one of the things we're doing is we're inviting some of the alumni back and saying, hey, walk with us. Obviously, we have to do a better job of playing at home. Walk with our team on Friday nights before the home games, and then maybe let one or two of them share a story, what it means to be a Razorback, because we understand who we represent every single day.
Live from the Bud Light Studios, produced by Christian Johnston, with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is The Morning Rush.
You heard a few items that Ryan Silverfield touched on at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday. He's got a show tomorrow night from 6 to 7. You can hear on these ESPN Arkansas radio stations, plus hitthatline.com and our Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. And then the Hogs Illustrated Sports Club on Thursday, and then it's game week. Next week.
Yeah, so kind of one of the busier weeks for the Arkansas head coach generally in the calendar year, outside of maybe media days. This might be the busier week because you got multiple events in multiple places, and like I said, I assumed he did a radio show at Memphis, so I'm sure this won't be altogether new to him.
Yeah, he was, because there's there was comments that were clipped out, something he said about Georgia or something. I don't remember. I just forget where it was and when it was.
Yeah. Hey, our friends at Burton Pools and Spas are big supporters of the Special Olympics in Arkansas and the third Duck Pluck benefiting Special Olympics Arkansas is coming up. Join Special Forces with the Arkansas Olympics athletes as they pluck 12 Lucky Ducks from the pool at Burton Pools and Spas on 0 Street in Fort Smith on August 27th. Starts at 5:30 in the afternoon. You can join Special Olympics Arkansas athletes for a cheese and quackers reception. And it's going to be fun door prizes, followed by the live duck pluck ceremony at 6 p.m. Somebody is really testing my enunciation today. So get by and see them for all the details. It's August 20. You want to read this one the next time?
Sure.
You want to read? No, I don't want
Grand Duck Pluck.
No, it's just I don't trust you with this script. August 27th.
Succotash.
Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith to benefit the Special Olympics in Arkansas. Man. Ought to get a raise for reading that one.
You sound like Daffy Duck.
Yeah. The duck pluck.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
That's not
Don't mess that sentence up.
We'll get into did you hear Silverfield talk about the boxcar story?
I just heard the clip we had in our system. So
you haven't heard it yet.
I haven't heard it.
Because it's not, it hadn't played this yet. We'll play it at some point in time. It was an interesting story talking about this dude in York, Pennsylvania. But for now, we're going to talk to everybody. Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette here on the Morning Rush.
We got something called beef, B-E-E-F.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Tom.
Tom, we could start there. You don't necessarily have to dive into the boxcar story, but he was at Little Rock Touchdown Club. I spoke about 25 minutes or so yesterday. Mentioned some roster stuff. They're still trying to work through that. Bray Cook and how instrumental he's been with guys back on campus. A few other things. Anything else stand out with Coach in Central Arkansas yesterday?
No, it was a decent appearance, a solid appearance by him, I thought. I thought the boxcar story was interesting, but I felt like if I had started writing about it, it takes too many paragraphs to try to explain what he was talking about. So I left that one alone. It was interesting, though, that the gist of the story was a guy who got trapped in a rail car that was a refrigerated car, but it wasn't plugged in, convinced himself that, and apparently it's a true story, right from the 1970s, convinced himself that because it was a refrigerated car, that it was cold, but it was just the night was just getting colder, and he ended up freezing to death, but it was because his mind had been broken. But the car wasn't plugged in the whole time. So it was an interesting story, he said, and it goes to state of mind and, what these Razorbacks are going to be getting into this year.
The mind is a powerful thing. It is amazing there. So it's amazing we're this close. Now we have a quarterback that's been named the starter in KJ Jackson. No one's surprised by this. Tom, we were a little bit surprised by the timing of it all headed into this week.
Well, you think that through really strongly, and what it is like, okay, we're really beginning a little bit more install for these teams now. He's got a big speaking tour this week that includes up here with the Hogs Illustrated Sports Club lunch on Thursday. He talks on the radio Wednesday. He's going to get bombarded with the question because everyone knows it's close. The team already really, even if you say you hadn't announced it, the team would have known that KJ was starting to get more first-team reps. And so then it's just a matter of time before it gets out there. So they kind of got ahead of it a little bit. I mean, Brandon Marcello obviously got the jump, but we had stories ready to go based on KJ would be named the starter. And a lot of it is like, hey, look, they think they can win games with KJ. They think he's a better situational manager at this stage. But AJ's still a big talent. They've just got to find ways to rein him in. And hopefully in game one, they get a lead and he gets plenty of action when, it's an important part of the game. And so we'll see how that plays out.
Well, Ty did a good job yesterday of going back over the course of a decade or more and back to Brandon Allen, and I believe 2015 was the last time you had a season where you didn't have an injury to a quarterback and your number two didn't have to play meaningful, significant snaps. So there's no reason to believe over the last 10-plus years, Tom, that A.J. Hill is not going to get some significant, meaningful snaps at some point in this season.
Well, that's a good point because it is such a thing that happens with such frequency. But I was trying to think back to last year. I mean, I know they replaced Talon in the Texas game because of that weird interception, but was he? And he got his knee got injured, and Malachi Singleton had to come in the year before that in two different games, Tennessee and Ole Miss. But I'm trying to think at what point was it necessary that KJ would play last year. Ty, help me with that one.
I'm going to be honest; those notes were tossed in the trash yesterday. I can tell you other years. I can tell you BA going, Austin going out against South Carolina. I can tell you KJ or Jefferson going out against Texas A&M. It was either what we did. It was either he went out for a series due to an injury or was out an entire game. We know KJ had an injury derailed 22 season. So there was a specific Taylor didn't go out an entire game last year, but there was a series, and I think it was actually 2 games where he was held out for a little bit. I can't remember what part, but I do remember reading that all the way back to 2016, a quarterback and whatnot.
Yeah, well, last season some of it turns into a little bit of a blur. In fact, I saw some clips of KJ the other day from the Texas and the Missouri game, and he actually had a pretty good few drives, some action against Missouri, a matching touchdown drive that made the score 7-7, where he looked really sharp in there, and it let you see that KJ, when he's operating effectively, can be a solid quarterback, and even make winning plays. So hopefully that plays out for this Razorback team.
It's the A&M game, Tom. He went out for like a play and had an injured, I think it was an injured knee or leg or something, and then came back. And I think a little bit of the Mississippi State game as well. And I'm pretty okay. So that's a kind of an update on that. Tom Murphy with us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, one of the other big items that we touched on outside of still being in Little Rock was these like Daquan Ride and some of these other guys that are potentially coming back to college. Part of teams. We've talked more about that with basketball, but and I know we've talked on it. Sure seems like a SEC statement, but it sure seems like some of the coaches are going to go from this upcoming season.
It really. I saw a clip from Lane Kiffin that was like, "Hey, look, everybody, if we'll get them, and they're going to go somewhere." Well, I don't know. They seem to be kind of on the frontier edge of some of this stuff, and I don't like it at all. And I don't think the SEC doesn't want guys who've been in NFL camps, who've had NFL contracts, to be in those camps to come back. And I think the Big Ten came out. I saw something this morning from Ross Dellinger that they had a statement it will not be allowed in the Big Ten. And the ACC, they thought there was something similar was going to spring from that. And there has to be some lines to certain places. And this is one I would like to see because it's enough. College football eligibility right now is enough amok that this one seems like a no-brainer to me, and I hope and they follow through on that.
Yeah. So if Petitti and Sankey, the commissioners of the 2 big leagues, just got on the same page and paragraph on this deal, couldn't this pretty well end it for, at least at the highest level of the game? They may end up in some other places, but I'm still not certain how someone could really come back. I guess if they've been in an NFL camp, they're in good enough shape, but how you could plug someone into your system days before your first game and they really have a big benefit to your program.
Yeah, I just do not know, but I sure hope that's right. And you noticed in their statement, they came out with this has been about the student athletes who are on campus.
Yeah.
Those college players, it's about their opportunities and all. And you're telling your team, hey, man, there's this D lineman, and we really got to have him. We're going to plug him right into our rotation. And some kid somewhere thought he might be a really strong 2 or a potential starter. Boom, he gets bumped. How does that do in your locker room? It's just such a weird thing. And I wish it would, in everyone's mind, including the lawyers, they understand this is not going to be done.
So what is, if any impact at all, Sean Williams, Caleb Wooden, is this tied together? I just wonder, that's something I think you speculated on Whole Hog Sports. What does that potentially do for their future here in Fayetteville?
I think the most recent thing would be that they wouldn't be allowed to do it. But because it's still hung up in court, I don't know if there's been a definitive decision. Wooden was out there the other day. I'm not sure if he's done anything live tackling yet, But Williams, I haven't seen dressed yet. And so, I mean, we're so deep into camp now, I don't know how much they could help. And who knows what the adjudication of their situations will be.
Tommy, we're gonna hear from Coach Silverfield tomorrow on his show, and then also Thursday at the Hogs Illustrated Sports Lunch Club. But in terms of you watching practice, it's not gonna happen for these next few weeks, and obviously during the season, not gonna happen either. So I wonder your impressions from when this fall camp started to now. Player that stood out the most, and do you feel any differently than you did heading into camp, or is it kind of the same line of thinking prior to fall camp beginning?
Probably, I'd say close to the same line of thinking. You know, there were times, and I've said it to you guys, that I just felt like there was going to be a lot more numbers on the defensive front, and that their front could be pretty. But then the offense has had such good scrimmages that you're like, well, maybe the defense quite isn't as strong as I thought they might, and there might be more too. You know, more explosiveness, more playmakers on offense. So I don't really know what to make of it. It's so hard now with so many newcomers on all the campuses to really pinpoint, here's how I really feel. Because Silverfield and them are planting the seed of this is our team. What happened in the past, that doesn't matter. We can be as great as we want to be together if we stay unified on that kind of stuff. So really strong players. I mean, I think Kamori House, I think Christian Harrison are going to be impact guys. Sutton Smith, certainly. Not that we saw a ton of him, but I think he's going to be a playmaker. Look, Chris Marshall has really come on. If he can get through these games and avoid the series of drops like he had in the red white, he could be take the top off kind of receiver that really helps them. So, I mean, there are little things here and there where you're hopeful. And, you know, Ryan Silverfield says the last couple of days that he's really encouraged by the offensive line. And so that means, and really touted Kavion Broussard the other day. And I was concerned for both of the tackles on offense. So, man, until we see what they look like, and not just against North Alabama, but then the next two games, we can start drawing a lot better conclusions.
And I guess we'll get the official depth chart Monday and the game notes that come out. I'll be interested to see because it's really those top 50 or so players that are going to define the season and define what this team is. But, you know, you look at the two deep, both sides, you look at your specialist, and you kind of figure out, you know, how many of these guys are new to Fayetteville this year, new to the campus this year, and how many? I think we got a pretty good idea right now, you know, after watching some practice. But that'll be an interesting analysis when Ryan Silverfield's official two deep comes out next week. I think we pretty well know who the starters are in most spots, but maybe not quite all the backups.
Right. You know, and we've seen enough to have a really good feel. Ethan did one about a week ago on here's what the depth looks like, and I thought it was pretty accurate. The only one I even wondered was I think he listed Braylon Russell 1, Sutton Smith 2, and you know I think
that may be a 1 and 1A deal right now. So
yeah, I mean okay, if he returns the first punt of the season, Sutton Smith, and he has to run a long way and gets hit hard. Well, yeah, Braylon Russell probably going to start that next play, but otherwise, I think those two are going to be interchangeable almost. And when I asked Ryan the other day, like, okay, you've named your quarterback, but are other spots? And he went through a little listing of some guys. But you know what's curious? The most curious response in all that was him saying, there's some people on defense, guys who have starts under their belts, who, if, you know, like it sounded like they might be slightly dinged up or whatever, not 100%, they might not play. Don't be surprised certain guys don't start. He didn't name anybody, but you can narrow some things down and say, wow, I think he's trying to light a fire under some folks.
Yeah. But if you're a fan looking to cling to something to give you hope that the season can be better than you expect, I think the fact that you got so many newcomers and you just hope that, hey, everyone's misevaluated the talent, everybody's misevaluated how they did in the portal. There's some real stuff. I'm not suggesting that that's what it is, but as a fan, that might be the thing you got to cling to the most right now.
Probably so. The fact that all these other teams have new systems, and you've seen other programs come out of the blue from bad seasons and drastically turn around. And something we can never evaluate is the power of believing in your schemes, using your leverage, doing all the coaching parts, and beating your guy on that play. And if you do block it up that way, and a running back, makes a safety miss or runs through a tackle, it can be a touchdown any given play. And then, the same applies defensively. You just got guys who win their blocks or whatever, and so that's the big mystery of football: what it takes to have a winning team, and the unity and believing in your system and each other, and the coaching staff plays a big role, and they can cling to that. That seems to be going in the right direction for these Razorbacks.
Tom, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff as always. We'll chat on Thursday, okay?
Sounds like a plan. See y'all.
All right, Tom Murphy and all of our guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. You can read Tom's columns in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Few things in life bring more than or mean more than just showing up. And when you bring for your family, friends, and teammates a plate of their favorite beef dish, it just goes a lot further. Together we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com. This brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council and courtesy of Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com.
I asked Tom about the initial story that Ryan Silverfield told at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday. It's a little over 2 minutes. Some of you have heard it, some of you haven't, but this is how Coach started yesterday.
But that kind of reminds me of a story. The day was October 12th, 1974. York, Pennsylvania. Anybody's ever been to York? Got a lot of train tracks. They got a lot of different things going through York. And there's a guy named Nick Stinsman. All right, Nick worked on the railroad there. It was a Friday afternoon, and Nick was in charge of checking all the box cars on the railroad. And it was, hey, I got to get this done. If I get done by 5, I can go join the rest of the guys at the pub before going home for the weekend. And Nick was checking the box cars out there on this October evening before the dusk came and before the sun went down. And Nick's checking all the different box cars, making sure they're good for the weekend. And he gets to one box car, and Nick opens the door to this box car, and he walks in and starts checking it. And he realizes, oh, it's a refrigerator box car. And so he goes in and he starts writing down things. As soon as he walks in that box car, bam, the door shuts behind him with this refrigerator box car. Well, Nick hadn't had any of these doors slam on before, so he immediately goes and tries to open up the door to this box car. And it's not opening, and he's sitting there saying, what the hell am I going to do? So he starts banging and banging, and about an hour goes by, and he's, wait a second, this is Friday evening. I don't know if anybody's going to hear me. A couple hours go by, and Nick's kicking, clawing, going through all the belongings in this refrigerator boxcar, and panic starts to set in. He says, wait a second, it's getting cold in here. A few more hours go by, and Nick's saying, pacing back and forth and just saying, man, it's getting really, really cold in here. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's going to be till Monday, maybe before, if anybody finds me. A few more hours go by, and Nick finds a pencil in the corner of this refrigerator boxcar, and he starts writing on the wall. Nick Stinsman writes the date down, and in his brain, he's like, okay, well, it's probably Saturday morning now. I think I can get through this 24 more hours, maybe, 36 hours, and then I can get out of this boxcar. They'll come find me. A few more hours later, Nick's on the ground in the middle of this boxcar just shivering. Oh, man, it's getting really cold in here, and he's trying to bundle himself up and find corners, find warmth in this boxcar. A few more hours go by, and Nick's just talking to himself. He crawls over to the side of the wall and writes, to my family, I love you. I may not make it. I may freeze to death, and signs his initials. And next thing you know, the weekend goes by, and it's that Monday morning, and obviously Nick's buddies didn't see him at the pub. And his family's wondering where he's at, and they open up the boxcar. They find Nick dead in the middle of this boxcar, this refrigerator boxcar. And see, what had happened was Nick froze himself to death. But here's the trick. The workers around him, his buddies, found out that refrigerator boxcar was never plugged in. Nick was so mentally weak, he broke himself. You'll say, what the hell does that have to do with Razorback football? Well, here we go. Boxcars, what the hell? York, Pennsylvania. Anyways, all that being said was Nick was so mentally weak, he broke himself.
Gotta be mentally tough in this league. I will say it is, I've been locked into a walk-in before in some of my restaurant jobs. That is not the place that you are mentally fortified, or it is a situation where I've banged on the door and been in there, and keep in mind, 5, 10, 15 minutes max. It gets cold. Never been locked into the freezer, luckily.
You've got locked into it? But,
yes, the door, we had an old latch that used to get caught, and you wouldn't be able to open it from the inside. You had to do it from the outside. Not the most pleasant of situations, but that was how he led off yesterday.
Well, but his point is right on, that you got to block out all these things from the outside world that tell you Arkansas football is going to be no good. I mean, because we're all buying in. We just went through it with Tom. All the new players on this roster. Mm-hmm. How many on the 2 deep are going to be new? Your top 50 or so players. How many are different from last year? But we're still basing. Well, they went 2-10 last year. Well, what the hell's 2-10 last year got to do with this year? When you got a team so different, new coach, new schemes, all these things. I'm not suggesting they're going to go 10-2. But at the same time, we're basing everything last year, and some of that's just mental. Now, how does this team block that out? And they're going to be faced with a lot of challenges, mentally and physically. How do you mentally win the game?
When it comes to that, and you might disagree with me on this, but as the years have continued to build up since 2012, I feel like, there's a little bit of a reprieve in 15 and 21, but for the most part, you've been a mediocre or a bad football team. And so the pressure continues to mount, at least in my opinion, on that team that finally bust. And it's not going to be this year's team, let's just be honest, to get to double-digit wins. Kind of like the baseball team winning the national championship. You can say what you want, that last year or 2018 or 2 years ago against LSU doesn't have any effect on future teams moving forward to finally achieve what they've been trying to do since Gabe got here in 23. I'll disagree till the end of time. I'll never, because what it does, because fans talk about it, you see it on social media and everything else. So it does take a type of coaching leader to, as you say, get you out of that mindset. And I don't know if it's going to happen. They could be turnover prone this year. They could blow games like they did last year. And all this stuff is just talk. All the controllables, everything else. So everything has to sync up, and we'll see if it actually
Confidence is a mindset. Think about whatever sport it is, whether you're swinging a bat in baseball, swinging a golf club, you got a putter in your hand, you're shooting a basketball. Ty, you're a basketball. When you believe the ball was going in, did it go in more? When yes. That basket seemed bigger to you because you just found the stroke, you found a rhythm, was it really about that you had gained better feel, or was it just about, I thought I was going to make the shot? Or I thought I was going to make the putt, or I thought I was going to hit the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, confidence is an amazing thing, and the effect it can have on the outcome.
You're right, no question.
It really is. And how do you get this team believing that they can be better than what all the critics say? That's why you pay these guys a lot of money to coach these teams. Hey, it's Taco Tuesday at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. $1 crunchy beef or crunchy chicken tacos all day long. Love Joe's. Their steak, mushroom, and spinach fajitas are off the charts good. Those their fajita plate. I challenge you to find better steak fajitas anywhere. And they make fresh, made from scratch salsa every day, crispy chips, and of course plenty of cold drinks, whatever you like. They got Coke products too. Also one of my favorite things there at Joe's. Joe's Grill and Cantina, great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith.
All right, we'll get into our SEC update, some of the comments on recent changes within college sport, guys trying to come back to college, what that means here in these next few weeks. The Morning Rush continues after this.
It's the summer event takeover at Lewis Automotive with sizzling deals and endless adventures. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years and home of the Lewis Guarantee.
It's great to be able to be a hog.
This is the Morning Rush.
Bobby Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
We've got big news from Roback. This entire week, Roback is launching its brand new collegiate collection, just in time for the fall season. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you're in luck. The Arkansas collection officially dropped, and there's plenty of inventory available. So whether you're headed to the stadium, watching from home, or just looking to upgrade your game day gear, now's the time to check out Roback's new Arkansas collegiate collection. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Got one question for you. What are those?
It's cute. I wish I could get it, but...
How much you pay for that taco?
Hey, yo, you know this, boy. He's got his free taco.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Want to kick off the football season with a bet that feels like a lock? The MyBookie lock of the season is back. With the Patriots in Seattle for the NFL kickoff, the question is simple. Will the Seahawks raise their championship banner that night? Of course they will. They're the defending champs. It's their home opener, and you're getting plus money odds just to say yes. Get in before kickoff, sign up at MyBookie, use promo code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and start your season with a win. MyBookie. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere.
Got a little jingle.
It's the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
We actually had the FBI come through and walk the building for bugs and for everything. But really? Yeah, we knew kind of what was in Baton Rouge and we knew so when they operated. So I remember getting on my knees and looking underneath the desk, checking for like, is there some sort of bug in my office? Somebody was like, what are you doing? I'm like, you just trust me, you don't know this guy like I do. Yeah. So,
That's the head of the Grove Collective, Walker Jones, talking about looking for bugs following Lane Kiffin's departure from Ole Miss. Pete Golding got asked about it as well.
Any bowl game playoff system, obviously, you're going to up security. I'm not sure that there was a hiring process of here we go with the FBI. I do think we probably have a current player whose dad just so happens to work for the FBI that lives in town that from that standpoint, there was no measure to go, oh my gosh, here, come in from that standpoint. But no, obviously, anytime you get in that playoff system and you had guys from this building go to other places, you want to make sure it's secure for your players.
Are coaches the most paranoid people on the planet outside of people that work in like the CIA or FBI or any government agency?
I think coaches are more paranoid.
They're more paranoid.
I'm sure that I'm sure they have somebody on staff within athletics that when there's these transitions, their only job is to change every password, every portal to log into a system, lock down all the videos, everything you would have access to in the internet age where you could log into something and view stuff. I mean, we've seen this in baseball where scouts were logging into other teams' stuff, and one guy I think for the Cubs, went to jail, went to prison over it. So, I mean, you think these things are funny, and you're logging in to look at your competitor's stuff, but there's real-life examples of people that have done these kind of things that they're paranoid and worried about. You know why people are paranoid and worried about it? Because they do the same thing if given the chance.
Yeah.
But you start doing these things, and you actually violate some federal laws and can end up behind bars.
Yeah, it's one of those situations.
There was a deal. Was it the Pirates and the Cubs, or I don't know? It's been 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember all the details, but there was a scout that did something similar to that in MLB. And
yeah, he had to log in or whatever.
Yeah, the password logged in because no one changed it. And he got proprietary information, and, they can track all that down through your IP address.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You're not going to outsmart them. Yeah, they worry about all those kind of stuff. He's talking about bugs and listening devices and stuff. I'd worry a whole lot more about people logging into my computer system.
Yeah, through VNC or something else.
Oh, they got stuff bigger and badder than that.
Yeah.
They ain't running a local radio station.
Keeping your SEC update going. The whole situation with Ryan and a couple other kids potentially coming back to play college ball after signing some NFL deals. Someone I just saw put out a meme. You remember that? You remember when the late Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight when he's walking out of the hospital and everything's blowing up?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Well, they put Lane Kiffin's face on that as the guy that's blown up and destroying college football, which I don't know if this is
that might be a little unfair,
a little extreme. The SEC put out a statement. The Big Ten is one-upped them. According to Pete Thamel, sources indicate the Big Ten is set to pass a rule today that does not allow players to return from the NFL and play for a Big Ten school. Anyone that has declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw and appear on an NFL roster or sign a contract with a pro league cannot be seen on a Big Ten roster. I don't understand why the SEC just put out this statement talking about that college athletics is the root, or college athletes are the root of the SEC rather than professional athletes.
Well,
go ahead.
This is what the SEC does, though. Rarely is the SEC first on something. They watch what other people do, they learn from their mistakes, and then they improve upon it. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the chancellors, because this is a vote. This is not something Sankey does unilaterally. This is where he gets his 16 presidents and chancellors together and say, all right, you guys are the real bosses of this thing. Let's take a vote. And we're going to be unanimous after discussion. They come out, they have a vote, and then he issues a statement that, hey, we have now passed a rule. Sankey can't just pass rules, is my understanding. You need presidents and chancellors to ultimately have anything that sticks because they're the real bosses.
I'm just surprised that nothing more than a strongly worded statement came out.
Don't waste your time with that stuff. I mean, Sankey needs to get his presidents and chancellors on a Zoom call and take a vote.
Well, they did already. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they didn't go ahead and do what the Big Ten is supposedly doing today. You mentioned, obviously, that the SEC a lot of times waits. This doesn't seem like something you should wait upon. Season's in 11 days. There's no time.
I'm with you.
There's no time to wait. This should just have been made a rule rather than putting out a statement. Again,
this is one of those 90-10 issues, but we can't seem to get it to the goal line, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of those in this country where, like, 80-90% of the country agrees on something, but yet we can't get the law passed or the rule passed or the change made because this feels like a 90-10 issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know why we can't just lay down the law here. Move on.
Last thing here in your SEC update, we were talking about Lane Kiffin and Will Wade being on the same campus. Which coach do you want to beat more this year? Is it Kiffin of football or Wade in basketball?
Kiffin.
I would say a football win against LSU carries more significance.
100%.
But I think it's crazy. I think more people dislike Will Wade in Arkansas than they do. Not that you like Lane Kiffin.
Why do you feel that way? That more people dislike Will Wade than Lane Kiffin?
Because the amount of people that wanted him as the head coach, and that you asked the question earlier about who would you want as the head coach. Can you imagine if they had somehow swindled and plucked Lane Kiffin from Oxford after last season? This fan base would be ecstatic. The Will Wade, and I know it took some time with Cal and the divisiveness with him being in Lexington, but I just don't think you would have the same welcome as you would that. People say they don't like Lane Kiffin, but secretly you like him to be your head coach. I don't know if you feel that same way of Will Wade. Though I could be wrong. We're not going to have any scenario play out here in Fayetteville.
No.
But that's just my vantage point on it.
Hey, the last holiday weekend of the summer is fast approaching. A week from Monday, we'll have Labor Day. Whether you got a pool party planned, a backyard barbecue, or maybe a last trip to the lake, the Labor Day weekend has become a traditional time for family and friends to get together for fun. But sadly, the holiday has also become one of the deadliest times in our state, with drunk drivers endangering themselves and others on Arkansas roadways. We all know it's illegal to drive with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher. And if you do, the consequences are severe. You'll lose your license and go to jail. You'll pay the court cost, attorney's fees, and fines. That will all cost you. It'll be thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. You'll be restricted to driving with an ignition interlock. That means you have to blow into a device that detects alcohol on your breath just to start your car. And you get to pay for that service as well. None of that sounds like real fun to me. So enjoy the final holiday of the summer, but think before you drink, drive sober, or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Arkansas State Police.
Seth in Fort Smith says it's because of Will Wade's face. That's why you hate him more, because of his face.
It does not appear he's set up for a grand season coming up there.
No,
at Baton Rouge.
I don't know what's going to happen. Mike in 479, write it down one time that you actually agreed with me. LOL.
If we agree with each other all the time, would it be a fun show to listen to?
I agree when I actually agree. I don't have any. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh gosh, I can't think of it. I don't have any. I'm blanking, drawing a blank.
See Tuesday. Why I don't always agree, folks? I don't even have to make the argument for myself.
Tuesday at 10:40, I'm dragging you.
You don't have an agenda? Is that maybe the word you're looking for?
There you go.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for filling in the blank.
Yeah.
I saw that Walmart is going to be rolling out Tap to Pay.
Thank
Apple
God.
Pay.
Thank
Google
God.
Pay.
Finally. Where have you been for welcome to 2022?
A company spokesman tells Axios, how do you pay in retail or wherever you go? I always tap if available. Walmart's like
do you tap phone or card?
Card. I don't like the phone.
Okay.
Walmart is like the only big-time company or corporation I know that didn't have tap, and I was always confused.
Yeah.
I can tap it virtually anywhere, and I have cash in my wallet right now because someone wanted to pay me in cash for a trip, and so it's sitting in my wallet. Rare is it that I have cash in my wallet, but
you can't hardly use cash there unless you get into the rare circumstance where a human being checks you out.
Mm-hmm. Which
it's just more and more
continues
rare.
to diminish.
Yeah, the lack of tap has been an issue, but they have made it so stupid convenient with the delivery that I couldn't tell you the last time we've been in.
Do they charge for that?
No, you buy the annual membership, and it's free.
Oh,
it's like $99 a year, just like Prime.
That calculates to less than. What is that?
Well, here's how I see it. Even if you tip the delivery person, we always tip them $5, $6, whatever. Probably more than I would like, but anyway, my wife takes. I look at it this way: the money that you spend on the tipping and the membership, I'll save in the lack of impulse buying. Because you go in the store and you're in. Well, maybe I'll get 2 bags of Doritos. Well, maybe I'll get the payday, the chocolate covered payday. Well, maybe I'll. How much impulse buying do you do when you go into the store? So if you sit there and you tap on your phone, no, you don't either. Yeah,
I don't do any of that.
But and then I don't have to drive to the store. I don't have to find a parking spot. And they deliver it right to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to be there if you're getting frozen food.
I've never done that. Can I do that under your account, or
no? You can easily set up your account.
No, but it costs $100. There's no sense of paying that when I could just leech off yours.
Leech off? No, because you got you'd have to put your credit card in. No, I could add you as a delivery point.
So I could use your credit card and deliver groceries to my house.
You could.
That sounds.
You're not
swell.
going to. But
that sounds swell, Christian, doesn't it?
So
getting free groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Ordered,
every kid in my neighborhood thinks it is.
I've ordered DoorDash to the wrong address before. Like I've had like another address in there from another
tough.
time, and then,
I've done that before too, where I was at like an Airbnb or a hotel or something, and I don't think about it. I'm gonna be honest. The only time I ever DoorDash is when I may be intoxicated, and so I don't think about the address sometimes that's in, and I'll order it, spend $20-$25. I'm like, where's my food? I look at the address 30-45 minutes later, and it's sent to the place I previously was like a month or two ago, and it just drives me it drives me up a wall.
No way to get that money back either.
That's gone. It's the tip's gone and everything else.
Hey, at the end and you're still hungry. That's the other problem.
It's even worse, yes.
Hey, at the end of a long day, how you spend your time matters, whether it's on the water, on the trails, or just relaxing by the fire on your own land. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas is here to help you get there. Go to myaglender.com or stop by any of their 25 locations around our state today and see how Farm Credit can help you make more of your free time.
Jace from Rogers says, heck, with these gas prices, you'll save that by just not paying for gas.
Well, it's just the convenience. Have you been to Walmart? I mean, just trying to get up and down the aisles. I mean, $100 a year, you'll pay that. Hell, you'd pay $100 a month not to have to deal with the people in there.
I count it as exercise. I feel like I'm exercising.
Oh, it's just, I mean, people, there's why there's Facebook pages dedicated to the people at Walmart. It's not the employees. It's the other. It's a state fair in there sometimes.
It's America, man. You get all walks of life. It's
Boy,
great.
you do, and some of them don't walk, but you do get all walks of life.
They got the not the rolly carts or whatever. I remember.
Then they move everything around. You can't find anything. It's just I found it to be very, very convenient. But Miss Laura handles all that stuff.
Okay, there you go.
Amen.
Congratulations to Ethel Carterham, who turned 117 last Friday. She had a sibling that lived to 104.
117?
She outlived her husband, who passed away in 1976.
All of them. Outlived all of her husbands.
She outlived 2 children, and she's a grandmother of 3 and a great-grandmother of 5. She was a nanny and ran a nursery back in the day. Question begs, the question that the story is begging is, what keeps you young? What did she do that allowed her to get to 107?
She's not young.
But what keeps her young?
What keeps her alive? I think that's the real. Hey, what keeps you alive?
Well, you old people all the time. It's like, this keeps me young.
Yeah,
the same, like that phrase. I know they're not actually young.
117's not young. I'm not interested in anything north of about 90.
75.
Check back with me at 89 though.
75. Hope I get hit by a bus or something at 75. I don't have any desire to live past 75. I'm good on that.
All right, we're going to give away some burgers here in a minute. We're going to send you to CJ, so hang on for that in our trivia question, brought to you by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Quick word for Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202 is their number at Gaston's. They'll hook you up with a great weekend. We were talking fishing earlier with Bruce Stanton in the show, and we were talking about Gaston's, and he was on the river this past weekend. The fog from the water is actually so cool they had to put a jacket on. That's what I'm talking about. August, need a little bit of jacket. That's the beauty of the White River, just what you'll find up there at Gaston's. 870-431-5202. They got a cabin to fit each budget. They got a cabin to fit everyone's needs, whether you got 4 people, 6, or maybe just going by yourself. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
And I got to see Chuck lose his mind last game. This is the Morning Rush.
At United Federal Credit Union, our checking accounts meet you where you are. Free checking gives you everything you need with no strings attached. Safe Spend lets you set debit card limits for the whole family, and Ultra Checking rewards higher balances. Plus, our digital banking and mobile app let you manage it all in one place. Visit unitedfcu.com/checking to get started. United Federal Credit Union, we get you. Insured by NCUA. Membership subject to eligibility. Free checking with e-documents. A $2.50 fee applies for each paper statement if you are not enrolled in e-documents.
The Saracen Casino Hotel is now open and accepting reservations. Saracen's new 14-story hotel features 318 modern guest rooms and suites, offering luxe accommodations paired with the elevated amenities and the southern hospitality customers have come to expect from Saracen Casino Resort. And while you're at it, don't skip dinner at Red Oak, recognized as Arkansas's best restaurant for 5 years running. Book your stay with Saracen by visiting SaracenResort.com or calling Saracen today.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
Hey, Fort Smith, have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step inside and check out the Pradco store within a store, where you can create something truly one of a kind. Pick from iconic lure shapes like the Booyah One Knocker or the Bandit 100, to name only a few, and have it custom autographed just the way you want it. It's fun, it's personal, and it's only at the brand new Bass Pro outpost. Swing by today and make your own custom lure.
I tried one time in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It didn't go too well. Wound up getting arrested.
This is the Morning Rush.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and make the switch to any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles and get state sales tax paid when you trade. Our road-ready certified vehicles are inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. Combine that with our non-commissioned sales team and the nation's best lenders on standby, and you've got an award-winning, hassle-free way to get your next ride. Make the switch to road-ready certified and get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Taco Bell's new $3 melty pepper jack steak burrito. Just one taste of the premium grilled steak and new pepper jack sauce, and that kind of lux might go to your head. And for just $3, how could it not? But even as you're enjoying the tender premium steak and cheesy opulence, try not to ask the waiter for a steak knife. Experience the Lux Value Menu with 10 items, each just $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Tax extra.
Looking for quality building materials and service you can count on? Visit Lumber One. Lumber One carries lumber, plywood, drywall, insulation, and roofing. Also, cabinet takeoffs for both kitchen and bath. Their full-line door shop offering exterior and interior doors, windows, and trim. They also provide blueprint takeoffs and estimates. Visit Lumber One at 3335 Industrial Park Road in Van Buren or call 474-4444. Lumber One. Go where the pros go, where service still matters.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
We've got big news from Roback. This entire week, Roback is launching its brand new collegiate collection, just in time for the fall season. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you're in luck. The Arkansas collection officially dropped, and there's plenty of inventory available. So whether you're headed to the stadium watching from home or just looking to upgrade your game day gear, now's the time to check out Roback's new Arkansas collegiate collection. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort. Are you ready for a career change? In as little as 4 weeks, you can earn your CDL right here in the River Valley. Voted best truck driving school in Arkansas, COP CDL Academy in Van Buren offers hands-on training with experienced instructors who prepare you not only for the test, but the road ahead. With multiple funding options available, getting started may be easier than you think. Your new career starts here. Call 479-632-1050 today, where real training creates real job opportunities.
Arkansas is a hard-working state, and we know you need to make your dollar go further. Crane Team's the home of affordability and a simple buying process. Fuel economy, great financing rates, and low prices. We've made it easy.
Get up to 40 miles per gallon when you shop new Kia K4 or Hyundai Elantra. Your choice, just $22,995. Or new Sportage, your Tucson, just $399 a month.
The Crane Team is here to put you on the road today. Visit craneteam.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Anybody interested in grabbing a couple of burgers?
Those are good burgers, Walter.
Archer Burger, my God.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
I got the shakes that'll make you quit. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll... Just got burgers.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
Tennessee Volunteers are starting a true freshman at quarterback for the first time since 2004. Faison Brandon will suit up for Josh Heupel this fall. When's the last time a freshman quarterback has started for Arkansas? Just need a text. You got a chance to win a $25 gift card to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. It's not Connor Nolan in 2018 against Tulsa, though he did win that game. We have had someone start for the Razorbacks since then as a true freshman. It was against the LSU Tigers. You got killed, but you did cover. I remember saying the whole week, just cover, just cover, just cover. Well, they covered. Who was that quarterback? Text in Lewis Automotive Group hotline for $25 gift card, 877-377-6963. Do you know this offhand?
I believe it is a road game, too, if I remember right.
I think so. That sounds right. Big C, do you know this offhand? Casey Nozark, You're correct.
Yeah.
Mr. KJ Jefferson, last true freshman quarterback to start for the Razorbacks. All right, you got halftime coming up. Alyssa Orange, Matt Jones, Colton Little next.
Hey, Fort Smith, have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step